angel because when
I'm learning.
it
Chris
goes
is the
down,
hero right now.
and when it goes down, we all suffer. So then see what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just hit enter there, and it's gonna pull me up and down here.
That's all you need is
And I'm gonna go there, and that's gonna zoom me in here. But what I wanna do is go back to my, so see, and then next time I can just go, boom.
Okay, so you're
Look
good.
at
That's
that.
all you needed over here.
Look at
then?
that, boom.
Awesome. So we'll
Got
just
it.
leave the agenda up
And-
until then.
And, yeah,
It's just the
like,
green button there on the top.
ooh, I like it. Okay, we'll have a little pointer. Does anybody else get a pointer? Does our
Nope,
chairperson
that's
get
it.
a
Only
pointer?
the people up here presenting.
Oh, no.
That's it. No pointer for anybody else.
All right. Hello, my friend. So we have.
This must be a busy night. I don't know where everyone is.
Yeah, I know, right?
Harvest is usually.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Harvest break.
Beautiful weather for a harvest break. Look.
Had a baby 2 nights ago.
All right, you guys ready?
I'm exhausted.
Oh.
Hey!
Shelley, is that gonna be anybody's eyes?
It will. Eventually, we'll have to.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on it
Okay.
and then we'll close it once it gets real bad.
I'll take a Spencer or something. Last
Do you
time.
want more lights on or to see the screen though?
It's
We kind of
fine,
need it
yeah.
off, don't we?
I'm always in the dark anyway.
Were they starting to sweat a little bit?
Okay, I guess we will go ahead. We do have enough commissioners here to have a quorum. We'd like to welcome you to our October 3rd, 2024 Planning and Zoning meeting. We're happy to see Tisha and her voice here. She has a connection with many of us here. And Mr. Anderson, we appreciate you coming. Rob Woodall will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and
Justice for all.
Thank you. Natalie, will you go ahead and do the roll call?
Yes. Vince Haley, Todd Marks, Randall Kempton,
Here.
Sally Smith,
Here.
Aaron Richards, Jim Lawrence,
Here.
Bruce Casper, McKay Francis,
Here.
Vanessa Johnson, Rob Woodall,
here.
and Brian Thatcherin.
Here.
Okay, thank you very much. We might just mention to you that 3 of our planning and zoning people are at a conference, and so Natalie is filling in, and we appreciate her doing that for us because we have some important things tonight. We need an approval of the planning and zoning minutes for September 19th of our meeting.
I would make a motion that we approve the minutes from our last planning and zoning meeting on, what day was it?
September 19th.
On September 19th, as written.
Okay, do we have a second to that?
I'll second it.
Okay, all right. It's been moved and seconded that we approve these minutes. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Okay.
Did you get that? Okay. All right, we do have 2 public hearings tonight. Our first public hearing will be on the annexation for Taylor Corp. This is located at approximately 360 Stationary Road. The application is to annex the property into the city of Rexburg, and this is the city of Rexburg asking for this annexation. So go ahead, Natalie.
Good evening, Commissioners. This evening, we are going to be speaking about the Taylor Corp. As she mentioned, this property includes a business that currently resides within that has city services connected to it at this time. The property is located off of 2nd East, and that's that road that you can see right in front there to the left. And it's south of the Moody Road within the area of impact. And the annexation applies to approximately 30.45 acres. The comprehensive plan designation is industrial, and the zoning right now, as you can see on the screen, is light industrial. Neither the comp plan designation nor the zone change will be changed at this time if the annexation is approved. A total of 30 hearing notifications were mailed out to the surrounding property owners, and staff asked that the Planning and Zoning Commission consider recommending to the City Council their approval of this application. I'll turn the time over to you all for any questions you may have.
Okay, and then is everyone aware that they are receiving city services at
Yes.
this time? It's one of the few areas that's not in the city that
They've
is
been receiving city
Services.
services for some time now.
And also no communication with them. They haven't.
No, we did
Communicated
try
at all.
several times, in person as well as mailings and phone calls. There was no response, but as a result of the growth that's taking place in the vicinity of this parcel, and because they are receiving those city services, as we mentioned, and have done for the past several years, it's been determined that it's appropriate and timely to annex them into the city of Rexburg.
And the city limits already extend past where they.
That is correct. Let me just zoom out just a moment. Oh, are you okay? So the red goes around the city. So as you can see, they're kind of an island right here, right? But your city boundary is up here, takes in Walmart, up here to the Highway 20, and back down and around again.
So just for the people who are here visiting too, can you just trace with the mouse?
Oh,
what we're
sure.
talking
So
about
it's the old art code complex.
It is the art.
It's known as Art
Old
Code.
people.
Right, right. Well, more experienced people, for sure. So this is the area that we're talking about right here. And this large building here has been operating in existence for, I don't know, 70 years.
Ever.
It's been a long time.
Why haven't they been annexed previously when the surrounding properties were annexed into the city?
Was the question
Why,
how?
no, why weren't they annexed previously when the surrounding properties were annexed into the city?
You know, they didn't come to us at the time to be annexed in, and so therefore, it usually takes the applicant or the property owner to come, but now that this is an island, we have the authority to come in, and especially where they're receiving city services. It's just timely, you know, it's the right time to make it look nice on the map, for sure.
Natalie, will the railroad tracks be the new boundary there?
Yes,
Everything to the, kind of the southeast corner will remain
That is
outside of
correct.
the city?
that is correct. So it'll be a nice straight line right along the railroad.
Is there a reason why we haven't taken the opportunity to bring that industrial stuff east of the highway in at this point?
No, that's a really good question, McKay, and I don't know why we didn't do that all at the same time.
Just curious.
Me too. Me too.
Curious
Good
too.
question.
Also looks like an island.
Another one.
Maybe it'll be the next
Next meeting.
one that we go after.
Exactly. Give us something to do for our next meeting.
Okay, any other questions?
This will obviously clean up the map, but for the property that's being annexed, this is just gonna make them subject to Rexburg city ordinances, property tax, et cetera.
That's correct. When they're in the impact area, they still build and they're still, the city ordinances apply to them. They build according to our standards and our design standards and things like that, but it will affect their tax. That's true.
What is that tax impact?
You know, I don't have those numbers sitting in front of me. I'm sorry. I should have. That's a good question.
Typically about 25% higher.
Thank you, Sally.
or has been typically.
And the property owner has been notified but hasn't responded.
That is correct.
So they're just going to get hit with a interesting property tax.
Now, we've had this conversation in years past with them. This is not going to blindside them
Uh-huh.
in any way. So they knew eventually that they were going to be annexed into the city of Rexburg, again, because they are on city services. We're providing
Yes.
them with sewer and water.
Uh-huh.
And
Okay.
and for the record, there's notice that's required by the statute, and then there's the type of notice that the city has been exhausted.
We have.
Yeah, and I read through and I saw a lot of the stuff that we sent out about it. I wonder how it's going to go through on their end. But anyways, that's interesting.
Any other questions, commissioners? Okay, I'll turn the time over to you.
All right, we'll go ahead and open our public portion of the meeting at this time. And at this time, if anyone would like to speak about this proposal, we want you to come forward and state your name and address. We'll hear first of all from people who are in favor of the proposal, then those that are neutral, and then anyone against the proposal. So again, now, if there's anybody here that would like to speak in favor of this proposal, they'll come forward now. Okay, anyone neutral to the proposal? And anyone against the proposal? Okay, there's no written input. I don't think there's been any input at all.
We don't have anybody online.
No, don't believe so. Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing at this time and begin our deliberation. I'll start maybe. This has been going on for a long time. And I think until they need a lot of water and different things, and so, you know, they were able to get the city services. But I think that this is time. They've been out there a long time and just been that island, and for years didn't want to be annexed, but I think they realize. But any comments from anyone?
I have a comment. I guess it's more of a question for Spencer regarding some of this. Is there a possibility that even though we were exhaustive in trying to notify them, that they could come back against the city at all?
Procedurally, meaning that, I mean, anybody can try to come back and
Right.
do those things, but Steve and I, Mr. Zollinger and I have gone through this. Alan and city staff have been very, I mean, anytime that we annex anybody, we make sure that we're dotting our T's and crossing our I's. And so from a statutorial standpoint or from a procedural standpoint, I don't think that they would have anything. Again, if they were here, if they decided to challenge this annexation, legally, I don't think they would have a basis to challenge it. I mean, they are receiving services and have been for some time.
It's kind of a no-brainer for me. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't annex them since they've been receiving the services and we've done our due diligence. So I would be completely in favor.
Anyone else? Okay, are we ready for a motion? Randall, would you like to do that?
Sure. I'll make a motion that we recommend to City Council that that they approve the annexation of this property as discussed because we have been giving them services and they're an island.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all right. It's been moved and seconded that we recommend this to City Council. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
I'll abstain.
Okay.
How does that work?
Spencer,
Is
just
question about-
procedurally, in the past, we haven't been able to do an abstention on something like this.
Can I not abstain from that?
In favor, against,
It's-
and abstentions? I was just curious.
I have it on my thing. I think we just need 5, I believe. We do.
Give me 30 seconds, somebody tell a joke.
Okay, well, I would like to add to the minutes so that we can record this later, that Randall's the one that made the motion, and Jim's the one that seconded it. And I also need to make mention that Vanessa came in shortly after, like 6:33 or something. So,
Any of the initial discussion?
Not discussion. I
Just-
missed a little
That's the
bit.
discussion.
Not the discussion. I missed a little bit of the intro
For the
from,
presentation.
yeah, the
Maybe you can
presentation.
repeat that for her. She-
absolutely, let me go back to that. So for Vanessa's sake, we are looking at this property right here. It's the old Artco building, and they go by the name of Taylor Corp. As their legal name. And where the mouse is going on the map here around this is going to be the boundary line that we're taking in tonight in the annexation. And then it'll be straight along the east side of the railroad tracks and make a nice straight line that way as well. This Taylor Court building has been receiving city services, water and sewer for a number of years now. And that was in the beginning of the presentation that you may have missed. And so they have been aware for a number of years as well that they would eventually be annexed into the city because they were on city water, so it's not going to come as a shock to them at all. Actually, it's probably, they were thinking it's probably going to happen before now, honestly. The property is approximately 30.45 acres in total out there. And the comprehensive plan designation is industrial. As you can see on the map, the zoning is light industrial. And neither the comp plan nor the zone will change at this time if the annexation is approved tonight. A total of 30 hearing notifications were mailed to the surrounding property owners, so they've been made aware of this as well. We have had no phone calls or written input as of this time. No one here present either tonight. So the staff is asking that the Planning and Zoning Commissioners consider this and recommending this to the City Council for their approval.
Would you roll that down just a little bit?
Absolutely. Let's roll it down. Shrink it in, roll it down.
Okay,
Do you have a question, Bruce, specifically on the boundary lines?
Already voted.
so that is an exclusion of the property north of Walmart. That piece right there is not in it.
That's,
No, it's south of
This is
Walmart.
south
So
of
this little space right here, this little blue space, that's Walmart right now.
Okay,
So this is the interchange up here, as you can see, right? The North Rexburg exit or South Sugar
but
exit,
no,
whatever
this
you want
whole
to say.
finger that goes around to the railroad track is
Uh-huh.
already in the city?
Yes, all of this area right here, kind of this horseshoe up here, that's all in the city limits of
And the
Rexburg
blue
now.
is digger country.
It's digger country.
sugar.
It is. Does that help clarify it just a little bit more as well?
Now, are we gonna be coming back in a short time? This white piece right in there that's
Right over
open-ended?
here?
Right there.
Yep. You know, I don't know. They're not on city services now. And if they were annexed into the city of Rexburg, it would require them to put in curb gutter and sidewalk, which they're probably opposed to right away. But eventually, that may be something that they're gonna wanna do, depending on if they sell and they want to hook onto water and sewer, then they would be required to annex into the city of Rexburg.
Okay, but this property, we're talking about the finger that goes up there next to the
Here.
railroad track?
This little green thing is your button on your, this is a pointer. So push that little green button up,
Little green
yeah,
button,
that's one. Oh, look at that.
right there.
Yep.
This
part of
This
it.
piece right
Oh,
here,
that's in this, oh, no, that's,
isn't that a fertilizer plant?
oh, mm-hmm.
Do they have to be notified that they're being,
They were notified. You know what? I misspoke. They're not being annexed into the city tonight.
Oh.
The fertilizer plant is not.
They're not
time out,
I know, I'm
they're
sorry.
right there.
Yes, I know. I know. but they're not. It's just
It's a
right
straight
here.
line.
It's straight across there, so.
So
It's
it goes
straight
across right there.
Yep.
That
you're right.
finger isn't in it.
Nope, they're not in it tonight.
I don't know. We need to fix. Is everybody else aware of that? Do we need to do something different?
Well, that's what the map.
Let me show
In
you
the
a cute little picture
documentation.
right here. So this one is highlighted, and that's the area right there. You're right, that little finger is not going to be included.
Yeah, it was in the
Tonight.
documentation.
It was, okay. You saw it? Did you see it, McKay?
We saw it in our information.
You got
Yeah,
that
it
as
went
well?
straight- Yeah, I mean, it looks
Vanessa?
funny because you can see the line around it. You know,
Yes,
it
yes,
looks
you
like,
can.
yeah.
Yes, you can. Did you see it too, Randall? And Rob? You got that? Okay. I just wanted to be clear as mud on that.
So another
That's a great
follow-up,
question, Bruce. Thank you for bringing that up and bringing
Yeah,
it to our
that was-
attention.
another follow-up question, does that cause any issues that now there literally is an island that's surrounded by city on all sides and is not part
We
of
have
the
a
city?
couple other islands in Rexburg too, and as time progresses, and like I said, when they want to come in and use city water and sewer, then we ask that they annex in at that time. So they have private wells up there at this current time, and they're running just fine. So they probably wouldn't want to annex in right of way. There's benefits to being in the city limits of Rexburg for sure, not just in name only because it's cool, but also, those city services come in handy.
They do.
Spencer, did we give you enough time to research?
No, and so, I was, in typical, we'll have abstentions from votes, and if there's a basis based in, I wouldn't say a legal basis, but just a practical basis of, hey, we're confirming the minutes, well, I wasn't here, and so obviously.
You would
I
abstain.
can't, and so if somebody said, hey, I'm gonna abstain from this vote because I don't understand the process, there's questions that could be answered that way. The simple answer is no, you can't abstain if you're a sitting member, and there isn't a legal basis. If there was a legal basis, then you would ask questions to see if there's a conflict of interest, or a reason that you should, not, but as a sitting member, if there's no reason, hey, I just don't wanna go on the record voting yes or no on this, I think we need to have a vote, yea or nay on it. Unless there's further questions or you believe there's a conflict of interest.
So should we retake the vote then?
Recall the vote.
Okay, all right. Okay, let's retake the vote then. All in favor? Aye. And then opposed? So it is,
We just, aye.
did you do it? Okay.
We voted.
Aye.
Speak up.
Okay, so it is unanimous then? Okay, all right, thank you very much. And thank you for that explaining when you can abstain, that helps us. Okay, we will recommend that to City Council. Okay, our second public hearing tonight is on a rezone at 222 West 2nd North, and this is a rezone from low-density residential 2, LDR 2, to low-density residential 3. The application is to change the zoning of approximately .227 acres from low-density residential 2 to low-density residential 3. Natalie's going to go ahead and present on that, but we do have our applicant with us if you want to say anything else when she's done. Okay, go ahead, Natalie.
All right, Commissioners, this property is currently a residence, and it's highlighted in blue on the screen. I pulled out just a little bit there so you can see the surrounding zoning that surrounds it currently. And as you can see that there is the trailer park just to the north here. You've got Mountain Shores apartment complex over here to the east, and to the south you have the Chicken Coop apartments down here. I don't know if that's their technical name or not, but that's what we call them, so. They don't have a sign. I actually went and looked so that I didn't make a mistake. They don't have a sign out, so we're calling them the Chicken Coop. Anyway, so you can see that you've got this development that's happening directly to the north and to the west. They're bringing in a bunch of homes and turning them all into duplexes up here as well. So you've got the medium density residential 2 right to the north and to the west. The request here tonight is that we take this parcel, the single parcel, and turn that into a low-density residential 3 zone is what they are asking for, so that they can essentially have a duplex there. Now, let me give you a little bit of background. That duplex has existed there for a while now. So this is kind of more of a cleanup. This application is just simply helping to bring this property into compliance. But it is, so we did send out 31 hearing notifications were mailed out to the surrounding properties. We have not had any input, phone calls or visits or anything of that nature. And other than the owner that is here from Texas here tonight, there isn't anyone else that showed any interest in speaking in regards to this, yay or nay.
So
Do you have any questions?
I have a
for me?
question for you. So it's in LDR2 and it's
Yes.
a duplex, but it's never been registered with the city.
That's correct.
So really, I mean, it's okay in LDR2 to have a
They
duplex.
meet the parking requirement. They, of course, will go through and make sure that they still meet all the building code requirements. That will be up to the building department.
But again, in LDR2, that's allowed. So doesn't have to be LDR3. So has this been used as a short-term rental?
And maybe the owner, Daniel Anderson,
Okay.
might be able to speak.
So did you have to meet the safety requirements for that, for the,
Well, so background on this, this has operated as a 2-unit duplex for over 20 years.
Daniel, maybe I could ask you to come up to the microphone because I have to take minutes later, so I want to be able to hear you well enough. If you would just maybe introduce yourself and say your name.
and your address?
Yes, my name is Daniel Anderson. I currently reside at 4 Dowland Place in Beaumont, Texas. Just by happenstance, happened to be here tonight, so thought I'd come out and support this application. But as I was referring before, I'm the owner of 222 West 2nd North. I acquired it about a year and a half or so ago from a friend of mine, and he had been the owner since about 2005, I think, is when he purchased it. Both he and I's understanding was that it was a duplex because it had been operating that way for a number of years, even before he purchased it back in 2005. But where this kind of came to a head was it did come to our attention last year that it was not on city records as a duplex. So we are using it it is being leased as a short-term rental, as a single-family home now, but would like to have the ability to be able to flex back to a duplex unit in the future. And we were advised by the Planning and Zoning Commission that it would need to be rezoned to an LDR3. That's why we're making this application, is we recognize there's still quite a bit of work to be done to meet all of the city codes for duplex, but wanted to start with getting this arrangement taken care of first before.
And the comp plan is intermediate residential, correct? So then it would be in compliance with the comp plan. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, any questions of Natalie or the applicant?
So why can't it be LDR2? Because it says you can do up to 6 units in a plot on LDR2. That's more for the city than, I'm wondering what about LDR2 makes it ineligible?
Well, that was
duplex.
my question too, except LDR2 is the low-density comp plan.
Yeah.
And the intermediate would be the LDR3, but that was my question too, I'm not sure.
I don't understand why we have to rezone it.
I'm actually not real sure tonight.
But, I mean, I'm not saying that that you're requesting it, that's great, but that was my same
Yeah,
question.
the-
Because of the owner applicant, or the owner being on site, or the resident being on site?
It wouldn't have,
If he was going to do a short.
Not living outside.
Oh, that might have to do with our short-term.
with the short-term rental, I don't know if that's any, I mean,
We
it's
did
fine, but
just
that was my
change that.
question too, so.
So do we have that we can pull up?
Well, no, I mean,
So LDR1, LDR2, and LDR3 fall within the same,
no. Now, LDR3 now is with medium density one, I mean, the intermediate residential is the comp.
No plan
And
to.
actually, short-term rental can be in any zone, as long as it meets the requirements.
Because we just barely changed the short-term lease Since
What?
we voted on that like not too long ago. I remember we specifically changed
But
the
it,
wording on short-term leases.
well, it can be in any residential zone,
Yeah,
LDR1, LDR2.
I think I may have misspoke before. It has always been used actually as a long-term rental.
Right,
Okay.
yeah,
don't
I mean,
remember
as a
it.
duplex, right. Now, but you're not using it as a duplex right now?
No,
So on the short-term rental, it's just, you're not doing two, you're just.
correct. Yeah, there is a single tenant
Okay.
leasing the entire home at this point.
And that could be the issue too, you know, not being used as a duplex right now.
So if we were to do this, wouldn't we have to go with a comp plan
Was given a
change?
No,
pointer.
it's in the
Hey, you're gonna
current
use
comp
it?
plan.
Is this the fairgrounds?
No, it's not. The fairgrounds are over to the west. Let me,
Yeah, so it's intermediate
Okay,
residential. which
what
out
is
there
this
at
road
3,
right
Okay, so
here?
it's already.
Yeah, it's not in the residential.
it
So
is.
that's why.
That is second
Is that
north.
second north?
That's second north, yes.
Complaints with
Is this fifth west?
No.
No, Fifth West would be back to the left.
you know, it's,
So you've got west second north to the south of them here, and to the east is north second west.
It's close to the to the Rocky Mountain.
Oh,
So
we're
Tower.
going a different direction.
That's okay. The fairgrounds are right here. Do you see the
Okay.
fairgrounds now?
The Rocky Mountain Power Building is just to the east.
East of.
That's correct. So all of this pink
okay.
is
Industrial.
industrial zoned, because that is
I know where
Rocky
it is
Mountain
now.
Power, and the kitty corner is the as well.
So Natalie, do you want to put the comp plan up?
Of
That
course.
would help probably.
There's your comp plan.
Okay, see, it's all intermediate residential, which is LDR3, medium density 1, 2.
And so what is surrounding that?
That's just showing you.
Those developments? Is that what you're asking? Or
I
zoning?
can see on down that road is the fairgrounds.
Over here. Correct.
Yes. This is back where?
So Rocky Mountain Power sits right here. All of this.
Right
pink-
where?
Right, the pink.
The mouse is going crazy. You see in the pink?
The pink.
Let me see your
The,
pointer.
the red brick building?
Yeah, that red brick building is right there where that mouse is.
No,
And then the
No,
railroad
it's-
tracks,
No,
and then you have
the-
the pool to the east.
that red brick building is
It's on the
the
road.
Yeah.
lower left corner.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Do you want, Bruce, let me see your pointer.
down a little bit.
I'm not using my pointer.
He doesn't want to give that. That's fine.
She wants to use it.
Oh, you can't use it.
I know. I have a mouse. I'll be fine.
Okay. So it is
So-
an intermediate residential. but it is-
Remember, I live in
From,
the
from the
county.
research that I found, the issue is in LDR2, the property manager has to live on site
For short-term rental.
for short-term rentals. And so because he's running the duplex and neither of them is the property manager, that's why it has to get upgraded to LDR3.
Thank you, Brian.
Do we know
If it is
the,
going to be a short.
do we know the lot width and depth?
Sure, I can get that for you. Super quick. Okay.
It's got to be at least 60, right?
So if it's in a.
It is 61, 62 wide, and
It's very small.
approximately 166. But that's just their property lines. Then you go out to the street, and you're going to add another 25 feet going out to the street.
So
your
it's
lot
just
depth-
barely,
Yeah, so it makes the 60,
it does.
and it has to be at least 60 feet as well.
Does it meet the
On both sides of that property,
square
wood
footage? Has
is
to be
there.
10,000 square feet.
And it's 0.2%.
They
so
are-
it's
Well,
not,
right
yeah.
there, it says 166
That-
times 60.
I see an elongated building right there.
It's,
This is your aerial view here.
It's not, that little, yeah.
I can't figure why.
So this is the home we're talking about.
Again, maybe it is.
Yes.
What's
Okay.
on site, I mean,
So
and it
Bruce,
isn't. you know,
That is
it's-
this is the house that Mr. Anderson owns. And
Oh,
then
okay.
you've got
Right, so
to
it-
the right of him there.
Yeah,
Do
well,
you see that?
he's not looking for a short.
And we can go down the street.
So on down the street is
but it does
the
fit the.
fairgrounds.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You're
Intermediate residential.
kind of oriented now to where you know where you're at.
So it's pretty hard to
You're in
deny
City
it.
Hall.
Yeah.
in Rexburg.
Natalie, does city staff support this change?
Yes, city staff is asking that it be considered for recommending to the city council for approval on this application.
They've reviewed everything.
They
Well,
have.
basically, across the street is one.
Yes. across the
Correct,
street
directly
is a
across the
chicken
street
coop.
is, yeah, a series of
Now that I
homes or
know where we're
apartments.
at.
Yep.
And-
So see, across the street, you've got the power plant right there. Let me take off the color so you can
But-
see that a little bit better.
It's just west of the power plant, there's
It's
a,
that,
Correct.
yep, right here, the elongated one. Yep.
And are you doing this as short-term or long-term rental?
The plan will be to continue. It is long-term rental. To be perfectly transparent, I have a buyer who intends to purchase the property and complete the full, making it of a duplex, and my understanding is he intends to use it as long-term, but he will,
That's just,
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why we're changing it from LDR2 to LDR3. The more I look into it, the more I'm confused. So,
I think the thing really is that it does, the intermediate residential, which it's all is comp planned, is LDR3, medium density 1 and 2, so it's,
So we're changing it to meet the comp plan, not because it needs to in order.
well, I mean, that, you can look at it that way.
But again, we're not looking at a project, remember?
Right.
No, I understand.
We're looking at just the zoning, and does it fit into this area?
Uh-huh.
It's a very small lot, so you're
Yeah,
very
yeah, yeah.
limited to what you can do.
I'm just trying to figure out why we are making this change, and so far it's because the city said so, and I'm uncomfortable with that.
No, it's because the applicant requested it, though.
well.
Yeah, but the applicant requested it on the
Made the
city.
request on,
Not
at
the city
at
this
the direction of the zoning representative.
Yeah.
Now,
See, that
right now, the
confuses-
zoning
Uh-huh.
does not match the
What,
comp
with
plan.
the comp plan, okay.
Yeah, it is underzoned for what that is.
So what the comp plan is.
So it seems to me that Alan would want to be doing some cleanup in this process to say, hey, right now, you
Okay.
are underzoned for what we have planned out in the comp zone. Or, does that make sense?
That makes more sense, but feels a little like soothsaying, but I don't know. It's,
Can you show the comp plan on the screen, please?
We had it, yeah, it's intermediate residential.
There's been quite a bit of future development, that's happening over here at this time as well. There you've got your comp plan back up.
I'm not sure what that's showing me.
That's all intermediate.
Oh, there we go, thank you,
residential.
okay.
yeah, it's,
Yeah.
And intermediate starts at LDR3,
LDR3.
okay.
MDR1, and MDR2.
So currently, just to recap then for myself, that little lot there is
LDR.
LDR2, and it is, the rest of the surrounding area for comprehensive plan purposes is LDR3 and MDR.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, that makes sense.
Foresee that redeveloping in such a way that
Uh-huh.
will require higher density.
yes.
When it was initially put forward, it was because like, it made it seem like the reason changed this because he couldn't make it a duplex because of what it was zoned. It's not even- So,
Very good question, I think.
Okay,
Good question.
great, thank you.
I'm satisfied.
Pretty clear?
It makes sense.
Okay,
Do
great.
you have any other questions for the applicant?
I think we've questioned you enough. Okay, we'll go ahead and open our public hearing then. Again, with the same process. Anyone who would like to speak in favor of the proposal, then those that are neutral, and then those that are against. So anyone who would like to speak in favor of the proposal? Anyone neutral to the proposal? And anyone who would like to speak against this change? Okay, seeing none, we will close our public hearing and begin our discussion, which we've kind of already had, but any comments from the commissioners?
The only thing that I'll say is, as we're going through this, so you have 60-foot wide requirement, and they're 61, right? It has to be at least 60 feet deep. It's 100 and some odd. And if the city backs this, that means that it meets all other requirements. I'm just trying to kind of voice these out in my mind as we go through.
Staff has looked into requirements, and apparently it fits those.
It doesn't look to me like anything further at this point could be done on that lot because even as an LDR3, it allows 10 units per acre, but that's only still 2 units on that particular property because it's
Exactly, it's a small lot.
0.2 acres, so it doesn't appear that it would be able to be built up any larger than it is at this time until other properties are consolidated around it and a project to be done. But it seems to me that because of the comprehensive plan, that the applicant has a good reason to, put the property to the LDR3 designation. Even if nothing can be done with it at this time, it supports future plans for this area.
Okay, any other comments? I think we've discussed gotten everyone's answers. You ready for a motion? Okay, do you want to do that? You knew it, didn't you?
I'm a candidate, the last one.
Okay, I would make a motion that we recommend to City Council the approval of the rezone of 222 West 2nd North from low-density residential 2 to low-density residential 3 as it conforms and better fits the comprehensive plan which is in place and complies with all requirements in the low-density residential 3 requirements.
Can I second that, but change the words about the comprehensive plan to being in accordance with, or that's the technical word I think that we use, in accordance with the
Comprehensive plan.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, it has been, the motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion?
Just for clarification, we want to make note for the minutes that McKay made the recommendation and Randall seconded it.
Okay. All right. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. All right. Okay, if anyone has anything else, if not, I guess, our October 17th meeting, there will be a public hearing, 2 public hearings.
Wait, Mike, can I circle back with one question from Rob? We were talking about legal recourse with annexation, and I was looking at that, and I'll just give you a specific reference on that. So the annexation statutes have changed within Idaho July 1st of this year, but what has not changed in the statute, the Idaho Code, Idaho Code 5222, subsection 13, and it just gives the provisions of, in the case of a city-initiated annexation of a city council annex and zone that shall be subject to judicial review in accordance with the procedures given for judicial review. And so with the old statute, it was limited sometimes to type B or C annexations. This is an implied consent annexation, and so I think it would still fall under theirs, and there's an argument to be made that any annexation now can be subject to judicial review. Which means nothing to anybody, but, I have an answer.
Okay, good, thank you. Okay, anybody have anything else? If not, we will adjourn. Thank you.